Last year, my investing account made a 600% return, and there's really two big reasons for that. The first reason is that I have a system, and I call that the Bison Blueprint. And that's the reason I started this YouTube channel and I started my Discord community so that I could share that with other investors who are looking for similar returns. The second reason that I've had that much success is I absolutely love looking at charts and love researching stocks. It's a Saturday morning. I got up early. I got to the office, got to the gym first in the office, taking a look at some charts, scrolling through social media, looking at what other traders are talking about, seeing where the buzz is, checking up on some charts for the week, just kind of going through my weekly routine. It's something I do on Saturday and Sunday mornings when the markets close so that I'm not thinking about trading. I can kind of step away and just look at the charts while they're not moving. Um, and so this research side is one of the biggest edges that I have because I absolutely love it. And it's the best way to become successful. Now, if you're a busy professional and you can't do this research, that's what we have the community for. We do this research for you and we tell you when the best opportunities come up. So we're spending hours, 8 hours a day on the charts so that you don't have to. But let's get into something that I found yesterday on Twitter. Here we have a tweet by Connor Bates, really good investor and trader. Pretty similar approaches to the way he invests using support levels and some of the technical analysis he does. Not exactly the same, but close enough that a lot of his opportunities are my opportunities too. So he posted here that implying basically software is just getting crushed lately. I have pretty much 20 names on this list. They're all down huge in the last quarter, the last month, the last week. ZM is just barely even over the quarter. So just getting crushed. And when I see things like this, as a contrarian investor, as somebody who buys the dip, my brain starts thinking, okay, when is it time for me to get involved in these names? Things like this make me want to start looking at these charts and start setting levels and reminders so that when they get to my perfect levels, I can come back to this. So let's go through a couple names together and I'll show you my approach. So Team Altasian Corp, I think it's Team Viewer. This is something I've had charted for a while. And you'll notice here a high of 483. And then we entered stage 4 here and we kind of had our stage 4 collapse. And we're trying to find a bottom here. We've got a pretty clear trend line happening here. So something to keep an eye on in the future. Let's see if we can duplicate that and apply it. Because typically trend lines will run parallel to each other. So you see when you run that parallel to each other, fits really perfectly right here. So we've got another trend line, but unfortunately this ends in a negative number. So this isn't going to be super helpful for us. So I'm actually going to take that off. So what we have here is we have a support level around $115, 100, 120. It's kind of a zone here. So the old resistance became support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 times. And we're pulling into it right now. What we have here is actually another support zone at about $65. So when you take a look at this chart, you can throw those on there. We broke through this trend line here that was supposed to hold price up. And we had a huge sell-off this week from like 150 to 118. So just got crushed. Probably that 17% we have over here. So in situations like this, it's, you can take a nibble here at 110 or so, 115 at this support line. But the issue is if it slices through that, you're going to lose half your value and go down to about $65, 75, somewhere in that area. So that's why I just take a nibble here. Or you can just wait if you want to be safe. And what I do, that one of the keys to my approach and the keys to the way I implement this is that I always put these reminders in Thinkorswim. So you can go in here, create alert, and then when the price is at or below, And so for that one, I set at or below $75 and create it. That will send me a text on my phone and a little pop-up here to let me know that I need to come back and check this chart and see if I'm interested in buying. So let's go through a couple more here. Intuit, this is the only other one I had charted before I decided to make this video. So we've got a breakdown here. We've got a trend line that we just sliced through. So there's going to be a little bit of consolidation here, and then this is going to push down into this 360, 350, 340 level, somewhere in there. So as you can see, I set an alert to let me know when this gets to 366.88. That's just kind of randomly assigned that. And then I also have marked where the COVID lows are. And now that's a super, kind of in the period that we're in, a lot of charts have been finding support at their COVID lows. So that's another important thing to mark. So I'm going to go ahead and create another alert for when this gets below $200. And then I'm going to come back to this when this gets alerted. So that way I don't have to manage like a big watch list all the time. When it gets there, I will put it more on like my active watch list. So here again, I'm interested at 350. We'll see what the vibe is like when we get down to 360 or so. But I'm super interested at 200. It's going to be super oversold by then. So let's go into service now. Same thing, just getting crushed. And if you know what a stage 4 Weinstein analysis is, right here, we're getting into that we're in that stage 4. So all these charts are in that stage 4 level, and we're trying to find when we're back in that stage 1 again. So with service now, right here, we've got a support level. This one's a zone because we've got a little bit of variance in there. So kind of anywhere in here. But right now we're sitting at the bottom of that. So there's some risk that this is going to push through. But then again, kind of keeping things consistent with what we were talking about earlier, we've got another support level here. And our COVID lows are here, which is also a former resistance there. So it's about 50 bucks, which is a nice round psychological number. So names like this, service now, we're going to set our alert around 77 bucks. That's what kind of auto assigned based on where I click. And then we're going to set another one here at 51 bucks. Always set it a little bit higher so that it triggers before you get there, because sometimes they come up a little bit short. Figma is getting destroyed. This is an IPO chart, so these are really tough to do technical analysis on because you don't have support and resistance. You don't have a lot of trend lines available yet. So typically I avoid these. It's just not, it doesn't fit my system. So we're going to move on from this one. So here we've got Guidewire. Just look at that. Just absolute stage 4 collapse. Stage 4 happens fast. And that's why we teach in the program, you have to sell at the top. When you see these things happening, when you see RSI and MACD divergences, you're going to feel invincible. Get out, because this happens so fast. This is down almost 50% from here. So, and now you're just living off of hopium that this is going to fix itself, and it's probably not. So we've got a support zone here. And so what you're going to start to pick up as we go through these charts is that they have similar setups. They're not all the same. There might be 2 or 3 kind of patterns between them. But this one was pretty similar to ServiceNow. So we're coming into this area here, but we've got our COVID low about here. So I would probably mark this. This one's not a super clear chart for us, but somewhere around here is going to be our low. And so that's where I'm really starting to get interested. That's where everything's going to be oversold. It's due for an oversold bounce. So we're going to set our reminder at 87 bucks. to come back to guide wire. D-Dog, same thing. Looks like I had looked at this in the past. So if we extend this out to the right, we'll see that this is, once we aim that correctly, we'll see that this pretty well followed this pattern except for this false breakdown. So here, again, we're breaking out of this pattern again, and we've got our support levels here. And pretty much might take a look at this one. This isn't the best chart because it's a little bit choppy. It's not as clear. Like some of these are just super duper clear where the bottom's going to be. This one, you could take a stab here. You could take a stab here, but down here at 30 bucks, I feel a lot more comfortable. So this is how you start to create an abundance of opportunity. So you don't have to chase something. You don't have to, because other people are making money, you don't have to always chase stuff. If I can get Datadog for $40, I'm going to take Datadog because that can 5x. So we've got a super clear resistance level. In the interest of time, I'll leave that green. But we're starting to get a kind of range-bound trading here on Datadog. DocuSign, again, this one is a perfect looking Weinstein analysis chart where we have stage 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that 4. Every time 4, just massive sell off. Quick move up, quick move down. And now we're starting to build our perfect stage 1 base. So in this type of setup, I love to look for the bottom of the stage 1 base. So for here, 35 bucks. So I'm going to set a reminder about 40, a little above 40 bucks. So I get some advance warning. I can start thinking about this. So I had this one charted already. HubSpot, I'll have to send this to a guy I work with who owns this stock. I've had this one charted after he asked me about it. But same thing here. We've got a support level. We've got the COVID lows here. So we'll extend that out. So again, I'm interested in taking a stab maybe at 250. We'll see how it reacts. We'll see how the market looks. But again, at 100 bucks, I really want to take a look at this. So let's do one or two more. This is another one I looked at. Same thing. This looks just like the market cycles chart. Euphoria. I forget what the second top is called. And then another breakdown. So here, I'm interested at 290 or so because this is a 250 bottom. So as you can see, big spreads here. And then I'm super interested around 200. So I've got my 218 reminder here. So it's moving in a channel. And one of the nice confirmations we have here is that we have both a channel and a support level. So that's why I'm extra interested in this kind of 220, 200 level. So what's another good one to look at? Let's check out FICO. This is one I've actually alerted in the past. We alerted it down here at its former support, and it went up, I think something like 60, 70% and hit our target. So it's kind of moving around within this channel. It wants to retest this support again at 1350. So again, we'll throw a reminder on here, 1400. Let us know when it's getting close to that. Snowflake, I've got a friend who owns this, so let's take a look here. This one is starting to build a base, build a range. So here, it's like I had owned some calls at one point. We had a kind of a false breakout of the base. So something to think about. You can get into the smaller time frames and see that we've got a channel being built there. So something to look at. We've got support here. So we're not going to go through all the rest. That gives you an idea of kind of this approach. So the big thing I'm trying to convey in this video is that don't trust everything that you see on social media. Obviously, in this case, Connor's not implying that you should buy or sell these. He's being more informative. But when people do post stuff like this, you do have to go to the charts and figure out what's going on. Is this a buy? Is it a sell? Is it a warning to get out? Um, is it a warning to get in? Is it a warning to chart? Things like that. So you need to have a proper process to take this information um, and move on and move to the charts and figure this out and start to find your opportunities. Um, so I hope this has been helpful. Um, and if you want to learn how to start applying the Bison Blueprint process and learn proper technical analysis so that you can start to outperform the market, we'll have some info on the video below. There's some links in there that'll take you to our free 7-day Discord where you can start to get comfortable with the community. There's our WAP link here on the screen if you want to join up right away and get started and start making some money alongside of us. Like I said, 600% last year. This is a tried and proven method. We've had 185 alerts this year. Only 4 of them have broken down below their support level. So that's something like a 97% success rate. When you're using large time frames like this and giving it time to breathe, there's a ton of opportunity out there. There's a ton of stocks. The market's rotating all the time. We're finding new industries. We're finding new opportunities. So hope to see you in the community soon.